We're checking into Psyck.
Psyck.
Yo, check it out. It's a sick discussion.
You tuned in to Psyck Discussions. You are now listening to a Psyck Discussion.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Psyck Discussion.
Sick.
As always, it's your boy, Reggie So Dope.
What up, it's Devin.
Yo, what's going on? This Suave Mouth.
You already know it's Sam Dink IV.
And as always, we have a super dope conversation for y'all today. This is a conversation that is so powerful that we actually had to re-record it.
Right.
Because the
Had to
first
run it
time
back.
was stupid nuts. And today we're talking about boundaries.
All right.
We had to put a boundary on ourselves.
Boundaries.
Nah, for real.
Right, we even
We had to jump
off camera, we had to set a new boundary that was an old boundary, but it was
Right.
forgotten.
Shots fired.
But before we even really get into it, from y'all perspectives, man, what are boundaries?
So you wanna kick it off?
Anybody want to take that? No.
Go ahead, Sam.
Phew.
I can tell you got something to say.
I feel like boundaries are a way to protect your inner peace, right? Just saying like, hey, this is a line we're not going to cross.
Okay.
Right? Like, I just recognize this in myself, or even I already knew this, and it's just like, hey, bro, or sis, we're not going to go there. There's
Okay.
different ways to do it, but, I mean, that's just, protecting the inner peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
So for me, I would say it's boundaries are just setting limitations in relationships on multiple levels, whether it's, like you said, social media, personal or intimate relationships, or work relationships. I think they're all very important. It's just to establish, like Sam said, that peace of mind, tolerance and respect. So you know, like what you don't go for, what's cool in relationships. That's why I view.
I definitely agree with both Sam and Marv. To add something else to it, I'll say it helps keep like your life balanced, and it helps stop things from getting like out of control when you have boundaries.
Okay.
Oh, life balance. I like that.
I love that. So before I even looked up the definition,
What's your
in
definition?
my mind,
Yeah,
right,
Reggie,
right,
what's
yeah.
your definition?
my definition were my hell knows. Like, these are my non-negotiables.
Yeah.
For myself, with people, work, the internet, this is what we not gonna do.
Exactly.
But I did, I looked up the definition
Okay.
of boundaries.
Drop it for the people.
And the actual definition, right, is a limit of a subject or a sphere of activities, right? So just a bunch of stuff. But when I went to the Road to Growth counseling website, they stated boundaries protect your personal life by setting a clear line between what is me and what is not me. A lack of boundaries opens the door for others to determine your thoughts, feelings, and needs.
All right now.
Listen, they snapped.
Preach,
right?
right.
And then they said defining boundaries is a process of determining what behavior you will accept from others and what you will not. Physical boundaries include your body, personal space, and privacy, while emotional boundaries involve separating your feelings from another's feelings. And so, given that definition, how do y'all, all right, how do we personally set boundaries, if we even set boundaries at all?
Just to jump off that, I feel like that just gave me an idea, right, of just how important boundaries are and just how they may shape, right, relationships.
Yeah.
Because they open up a new, like they open it up to not being superficial or just like surface level, right? It adds some depth to it. It's like, okay, cool. I know, like I can see what you stand for and what you don't stand for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's really like, that's important to know somebody stands for something. Then it's like, okay, this gives them some depth, right?
No, facts.
Yeah.
True.
Those-
I
these
feel
are
you.
the hell no's.
Right.
As I stated.
Like you said, yeah. But run that question back.
So yeah, man, like how do we personally set boundaries if we do at all? And I ask that because on the internet people be like, yo, guys don't set boundaries, guys overstep, niggas ain't shit. Like we get that all the time, right? And so here we are, a group of guys having this conversation. So how do y'all set boundaries if you do at all?
I would say my boundaries come off pretty clear once you like get to know me. I don't like meet someone and be like, oh, this is what you're not about to say to me. Like, I'm like, that might be a little rude, but if it happens, it might have to happen. But usually my boundaries are like pretty clear. Like once you start talking to me, getting to know me, you get I feel like a good vibe of what to say and how to move around me.
Okay.
True.
It's interesting because now we're hearing the definition and thinking back to that last time we recorded, I view it completely different now. Like literally just hearing one
This is a
definition,
big-
I'm like,
Shit.
do I set
definition.
boundaries? 'Cause I
Right.
low-key don't think I do. I don't think I set boundaries until someone crosses them. And that's
Right.
why I just got from that definition, like you said, like,
Another hell no.
bro, like, because I don't have many hell no's until like I realize like what you doing that literally just bothered me.
Right.
And then I'll be like, let me,
Like,
low-key
can you
see if-
stop?
Let me see if they don't do it again. If that's really what, is that true who they are? Let me make sure. Like I don't want to be beefing for no reason.
Right.
But
Do you
Talking about
ever
beefing
have,
at
do
the
you ever
wedding.
have moments though where you feel uneasy, right, and don't immediately like off the back set that boundary?
do me? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what made me think after hearing the definition. Like,
Right.
do I set boundaries?
Right.
Do I like kind of wait till it happens? And kind of what Devin was saying, like, I don't want to go out the jump and be like, hey, like A, B, C, D, you're not gonna do this to me.
Right.
Because I'm like, bro, I just met you. Like,
I ain't even finna do that to
I
you.
ain't
just had a
even
simple
thinking that,
question.
but okay. So yeah, it's interesting now because I don't think I truly set boundaries until someone crosses a line that I don't like. And then from there, I try to figure out how I'm going to do it if they continue to do it.
Right.
Right.
Kind of sense, I
That's
might let it
such a-
slide one time, like, okay, I ain't going to trip, but if it happens again, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to.
Yeah,
How to
and
stop
I think
this
it
right now.
That
goes
shit's so
differently
tough.
for like if it's like a friend or if it's like
Right.
a random person. Because if it's a random person, you're like, all right, whatever. I'm never gonna see this person again, so it's fine.
Right.
But then you accepted that as an overstanding or just a crossing of your boundary, right? How do you? I feel like because I've also, and I'm only saying that because I've also been in that space where I've like, dang, somebody definitely just made me feel uneasy, but I ain't check them.
Right.
Like, damn, now I feel like I need to check them. Now my pride is hurt.
Hey,
you know what I'm
you.
saying? But I'm also not that I'm not that brother that's about to fight you over some petty
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but it's like now, but I feel.
And it's like what boundary is crossed. Like if it's a
Right.
big boundary, then all right, we might have to fight.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
If it's small, it's like all right, whatever.
Right. Exactly. I don't know.
I think we all should honor like being able to process stuff because like we don't know. We don't all set concrete boundaries, right? And
Right.
even if you are a concrete boundary setter, you won't know like this is another boundary that needs to be
Right.
set until it's
Right.
crossed.
Until it's crossed.
And so
Exactly.
like you do need to give yourself time to process it.
And not beat yourself up over
Exactly.
being like disrespected.
But in the
Right.
same token, like if this is something that sits on you, you have to address it.
Yeah.
Right.
In some type of way.
Legit,
Yeah.
because I have seen many of bonds and I've had many of relationships that has like completely disappeared, and these were loving, genuine relationships, but because boundaries were crossed and never addressed, now these are real tangible relationships that have just gone away because a nigga didn't acknowledge like, yo, you kind of crossed the boundary, like that didn't make me okay,
Okay.
like those things were not discussed.
Got you.
I feel like there was a time where my boundary might have been falling back and could still potentially be that, or just like, okay, oh, niggas like, let's go out. And I don't want to go out. Maybe I just won't respond to that shit. But I feel like since we've had multiple conversations with this now, like I probably will become better at setting my own boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to like falling back, right? Doing it a proper way. If there is one, you know what I'm saying? Which like I'm sure we could probably find some type of way to, between the four of us, we put our
Right.
heads together, we could tell somebody how to properly set a boundary. I don't know what
Yeah.
y'all think.
All right.
Yeah, easily, because
Yeah.
like it's not as hard as you think.
Okay.
Right.
So, in the beginning stages of like friendships or whatever, right? Like, at least I ask like, yo, so like, do you like to text? You talk? You more of a FaceTime? Like, what? How do you like to
Exactly.
communicate? You give me your way, I'll tell you my way. We meet in the middle. That's a boundary. Now, if you just sitting there waiting on your phone to ring,
Right.
like, no, you didn't set a boundary.
Right.
But like, if you say, hey, I prefer texting more than I like to talk, or
Right.
do not randomly fucking FaceTime me, Like
Yeah,
that
that's a
is
no.
a boundary set,
Yeah.
believe it or not. And it's a boundary around communication.
I definitely will just look at my phone if a random's FaceTiming me. And it wasn't scheduled.
Random.
And it
Not
wasn't
even a random.
scheduled.
It could be anybody.
So you got
It's
a
like, why is
category
this-
of people that can FaceTime you anytime and people that can't.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
And those people know they're susceptible to also not getting their FaceTime.
How do you tell the person who you don't want to FaceTime you anytime when they FaceTime you not to FaceTime you?
Oh, I just don't answer.
They gonna
But
catch
see-
on. They gonna catch
but
on
see, they-
eventually.
Yeah,
You feel me?
but
I
what
do get
is,
what you're
you
saying.
think there's a better way of doing that though?
Absolutely.
that.
You hit decline and then text, hey, I don't really do FaceTime.
Right.
That same rude
Right.
as hell, but like this is my clear boundary.
Right.
Because if you just let it ring, they're now stuck thinking like, oh, maybe they're busy right now. Not this nigga, he never wants to see my face this way.
Damn.
It's like, nah. Like, oh, maybe he's just not available. Let me try again
Let me-
later.
right, let
Like,
me hit him
nah,
later,
you
right.
gotta
You
set
send
it.
me that text, I'm gonna definitely tell you to get an Android. Like, say, why do you have an iPhone?
Oh my
You don't like to FaceTime. What are you doing?
But
Bro,
that
you
lights
just
the
told
mood
him
and
get
that
an
creates a
Android?
conversation.
So I get what you're saying. Though. It makes sense.
Wait,
It
you
makes
said you would if you ain't want somebody to FaceTime you, you would just text them and buy an
sense.
Android.
Hey, you get an Android, bro. Yeah.
Hey, low key though, that's why it took me so long to get an iPhone. I was
'cause
not.
you wasn't
I did
fucking
not
with-
like the thought of FaceTime.
Go
at all.
crazy.
Really?
I didn't.
Don't Android have its own form?
Yes,
But not that many people have.
and not so that many people do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like people will just randomly FaceTime you like, yo, I'm on the toilet, G. Or it's early in the morning, and my sister does this all the time. And
So
she only gets an answer sometimes because she's my sister and I love her. It's 8 in the morning. If I'm awake, this is the crustiest version of me. I don't want to
Egg all
see
in
you
the
this
eye.
early, and I
Oh,
definitely don't want
crusty.
you to see me.
Right.
Now I'm, hello, what's
Right,
up?
right.
Now, who wants to sound like that?
Right.
Early.
Like, what are we doing?
Got the deep Barry White voice and shit.
Nah, my shit be crusty. I don't even be that
no.
deep.
Oh,
It just-
Coughing and wheezing. So did people start blowing your shit up when you finally got an iPhone? People was FaceTime you left and right?
yes and no.
Okay.
I didn't make an announcement.
Right.
Nothing.
The-
So
the
people who are
messages
just
just
texting
showed
me,
up
they
blue.
it just showed up
Hey,
blue.
when I texted
was-
you,
I was like, what is
Bro,
going
when I
on
texted
here?
y'all, I was like, wait a minute, nigga.
Wait, what?
And it was crazy because literally it wasn't that long before I like got back in communication with you, like just talking about everything, that your messages was green. So they just transitioned to blue. I'm like, oh damn, did you have an iPhone this whole time? No.
February is when
Right.
I got it, and I just acted like nothing happened, and all the
Right.
messages changed, and then
That
my
shit
niggas
crazy.
FaceTime me. They like, wait, is this real?
this real?
And I understood that because I was team fuck iPhone forever.
Facts.
But to get back on topic
topic,
a
on
bit,
key.
fuck Androids. No, I'm playing. I love
Yeah,
it.
right.
So
Okay.
real talk. Describe a time when someone has overstepped your boundaries. So one, like, what are some of the boundaries y'all have set, if any? And then like, has anybody ever overstepped those boundaries?
I might take it just because I didn't speak on the last one, and I want to drop my little 2 cents. You know what I mean?
Little 10.
But like, damn, how do we set boundaries individually? I used to like fall back, right? I used to just be like, but now I'm trying to be more, okay, let me be more addressing with it, right? Just being that we had this conversation. And now like, okay, cool. How do we set them, or what was a time? I feel like if anybody was to talk about moms or my family, it's like, hey, stop that. Don't do that. Like, you going too far. Right. Especially because I don't like, and that's one thing. My pops actually taught me that, you know, on some like, oh, you can't be bad mouthing your peoples to other peoples because they gonna think they can bad mouth them too.
Right.
And it's like, nah, don't do that.
All right.
Right? Because I can do that because they my peoples, but you can't do that. They not your peoples. So I probably would say, I don't think anybody has hit me with a yo mama joke. You feel?
Houston ain't real.
I mean, no, people probably do it, but I've always had that demeanor where it's like, unless back when I was little, like when I was Little. I had hella older cousins, and niggas was definitely teasing me about the size of my head, but it's nothing I could do to set that boundary. I'm like 8, they like 13. What I'm gonna do? Beat them up? They over here
friends.
choke slamming. Right,
Hit
exactly.
niggas with the I'm telling.
Right, exactly.
Boundaries?
Like what? No. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm probably still figuring my boundaries out. So
That's powerful in that statement though.
yeah.
To realize you just figuring it the fuck out.
Just figuring it out day by day. You know what I'm saying? It's okay.
That's dope.
I mean, I definitely, I probably will be more likely to address it at the moment as opposed to like letting it dwell like previously we was talking about. But yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I instantly would be like, nah, bro, that's not cool. But I mean, I'm very lax, I'm very loose, I'm very chill, so I probably wouldn't have very many things that would upset me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Facts.
Anybody?
Okay, I guess I'll go. This is Devin.
He definitely waited.
Drop some
Shut
knowledge.
up to sip his water.
Right. To shut the
One specific like situation that's sticking out. I think it was honestly when I was in an argument with somebody. That's when I was like, that's when I realized they were crossing a boundary that I did not like. Like, if I'm just not in the mood to talk, like if I'm not, I'll definitely let it be known. Like,
Right.
hey, like I just need some space. I'm upset right now. Or if
Yeah.
I'm not, so I just don't want to talk right now. And like they just kept calling me. Like I was literally texting like, hey, I literally need some space right now. Like I'm cool. Like we can talk about this later, but just give me like an hour or two or tomorrow, whatever.
Right.
And I'm gonna hit you back. Literally, like, gee, I don't know if they like just opened it and like deleted the message or what. Like they kept calling. So I was like, gee, I was getting so mad. I didn't know what to do. I just turned my phone off. Like, bro, I didn't
would've
know
blocked
what
them
to
so
do.
fast.
Oh, that block
No, but
would have
this
came
like
so
this like a
fast.
friend that we've been friends for a long time.
Doesn't matter
But I'm
to me.
like, geez, like, I'm gonna talk to you eventually. So I'm like, I thought this was already established. So I
Right.
was kind of thrown off. Like,
damn, that's crazy.
Or you
Yo.
mute them notifications, but that's
Something
only
I-
Wait,
I
was
didn't
y'all-
know
did
what to
do you
do.
know that they read the message? It was read. Like they got it, received it, read it, all that. You know for sure.
I don't know.
That don't matter.
It don't
if
matter.
I'm texting you and
Hey.
hitting decline and you gonna keep
Hey,
calling,
I'm literally
Right.
getting declined. Like, and I send back like, hey, bro, I'm gonna hit your line
Oh,
later on. We just got into it. But I'm like, I'm gonna hit your line later. Give me some time.
what if it was an emergency?
There
though?
wasn't an emergency, G, because we literally just got off the phone
Oh, damn.
arguing.
but
Like,
also
bro, I'ma
still,
call you
if
back
I'm
later.
Oh,
not
they were
in a
trying
good
to
space,
rectify?
if I'm not
Yeah,
in a
that's what
good
it is. That's
space,
what it is.
I don't give a damn what the emergency is.
Right.
I'm not okay. So even if it's an emergency for you, there's nothing I can or will do about it right now.
Even if it's life threatening.
no.
Is Marvin an
Yeah.
Avenger? No.
Bro, if it was an emergency, just text me then. You can literally text me like, hey, I need to talk. It's literally an emergency.
Leave a voice note.
Something, literally, leave a voicemail. I'm going to check it. Like, don't just literally keep calling me back. I'll hit decline.
Okay.
Call me again. Decline, call me. Like,
I
bro,
ain't checked
what's
not a
going on,
voicemail and not since 2010. Boy, stop. Don't need no
to hear that.
voicemail.
dude? I was 10.
I mean, come on. I check voicemails, like, but like, I
No,
really.
no, no.
Who checks? Who
Talking
really? Here's the thing. Who really checks voicemails like that anymore?
Me.
I do. I check them. Like people don't really leave
It
voicemails.
could be a job.
So if you leave one, like, oh, let me check this, dude. Let me check this voicemail somebody just left me.
I guess.
When was the last time you left a voicemail?
No, you missing money voicemails.
Not really, never.
So if,
Actually,
so
no.
if
I left a business
Hello, Sam.
voicemail
We're
today
calling
on
in
some
regards
like
to-
I need some equipment, but
So if Reggie call you, see a voicemail from Reggie, you be like, he don't usually do this. Like, let me see why he leaving me a voicemail.
I feel
Let
like
me call
Reggie
him right
wouldn't leave
back.
me a voicemail. But
That's my point.
I see.
Right.
Maybe
that's what
I'll,
I'm
like,
did.
why is he leaving me a
maybe I'll
voicemail?
listen to it now. But I feel like Reggie would also just
he
send
gonna
me a
delete.
text. Reggie would just text it to me.
Voicemail. Delete.
Right. Nigga, what?
Nah,
He must
I
be
get what you
playing.
saying.
All the serious shit he texts. So he's playing on my voicemail.
Dead. Any other experiences of boundary overstepping personally?
I don't
I
really
was
got
gonna say, I
nothing
don't
on
wanna
top.
force you.
Yeah, I don't want to extend the podcast too long, so I'm gonna just pass it to Reggie.
So yeah. I mean, I've had moments where boundaries have been overstepped. So I got two. I got one real light,
See,
and
he
then
got two.
One
One for you.
that's a little more
One for you.
extreme. So I'll brace the listeners with the light one first.
Okay.
So one thing about me is I am not a huge fan of iPhone games.
What?
I'm not.
Not Sam.
Bro.
That was mind blown.
The iPhone games be the wave
That's why you bought the
sometimes.
iPhone.
Sometimes, but I'm not a huge fan because I play regular video games.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean? I'm just different. I'm not the biggest fan of iPhone games.
Okay.
And so I don't mind playing them, but like we have to establish. Oh, we gonna this up. You trying to play a game real quick or something? I just like the ability. I had a person who would overstep my boundary because he would literally just send me games.
Yeah.
We wouldn't talk for weeks. There's no interaction. I get a message and it's like, hey, let's play Connect 4.
Dead.
Like, nigga, we ain't connected one. So I want to Connect 4. And so I had to let him know, like, bro, like, I'm never in the mood to play this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
With you.
Damn.
Right.
And so I
I
softened
think that's
the
really
blow.
what it was.
I softened the blow, but if I am to receive another game anytime soon, it's like, oh no, actually, I just don't want to play these games with you.
Right.
He gonna send a thumbs down message.
Right.
Hey, I am the king of a
He
thumbs
gonna
down.
thumbs down the message.
Now the second one's a little more extreme, so
Okay.
yikes, we out here now.
So basically, that's you. It wasn't the iPhone games. It was the person that was
the person. One, I'm just not a fan of the game either. So I'm not a fan of the games, and I'm not a fan of the person
who sent
so,
you the games.
That don't.
Kind of stir the pot.
Do
But
people
any
get
what
on
was
your
your,
bad side if they see iPhone games?
Nah, that ain't how we get there. You know what I mean? Like, realistically, it was a person who was trying to talk. And it's just like, no,
I was definitely
Right.
gonna say that.
I'm
too.
good.
Flirting.
yeah, I mean, I'm good. Like,
Right.
there are better ways to get to know me. There's better ways to kind of slide
Facts.
back into my, like, my sphere
Right.
than trying to play this game
Okay.
because I'm not interested.
Not
Okay.
rocking with it.
Now the second person, there was another guy who was in my DMs who's just like, yo, I want to give you head, and that's it. That's how the conversation starts.
Right.
Whoa.
That's how the
Aggressive.
conversation goes. Literally, I bet you it's big.
Yeah,
I
they
just
took
want it. And I'm like, literally, G.
Whoa.
And I literally tell him, like, yo, I'm not interested. Thank you, though, but I'm not interested. I mean, can we get on FaceTime? No,
He's nasty.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know how fragile the ego is. I'm not finna curse you out and do the most. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
However, I've told you no. And so now it's gotten to the point where, like, now you're muted. So
Instantly.
nothing comes into my DMs from you. And the next step,
Boom.
and I want you to try to bring this shit to my wall or my comments,
Yeah.
my posts, because now you're blocked. This
Yeah.
is harassment.
Right.
I'm not interested.
Done.
Got you.
So those are two moments
True.
where my boundaries have definitely been
Crossed.
overstepped, been crossed.
Okay.
But now on the flip
I was about
side,
to say, yeah, that take us to the next.
on the flip side,
Anywho.
but anywho,
Right.
have any of y'all ever overstepped someone else's boundaries? Like, have any of y'all had to be checked for, like, doing a
Ooh.
bit too much?
I'm pretty sure I have. I can't even think of an example. I'm pretty sure I have. No, there's no one here. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Hey, Marv.
Let me think.
Now go ahead and think about it then.
Right.
I mean,
I feel like we all have overstepped at least one.
oh yeah.
boundary.
I feel
I'm
like
an angel.
people overstep boundaries every day that they don't know about, right? Like how we was talking about earlier, we don't know a boundary till we cross it, right? But then also on the other sense, right, when we cross someone's boundaries, we didn't know that was their boundary till we crossed it. So our bad. And then we straighten up and fly right. But is that more so a did you cross a boundary you knew you wasn't supposed to cross, or is that a did when you crossed the boundary?
Either one. Either you knew you weren't supposed to cross it and you went for it anyway, or you didn't even know that this was a boundary and you got checked.
I don't know. For me, I'm a pretty chill, closed off person, so I'm not really barely checking for anybody. So I don't think I ever like cross a boundary the way we're talking about it. But maybe the way like Sam said, like maybe I didn't like know and they didn't like address it type thing. But for me, I don't really think I crossed like a hard boundary before.
I feel like I'm a side with you on that, Marv. I feel like I definitely have on accident. Like I be talking, y'all know,
Talking about oops.
right?
We know my bad.
Right. Sometimes
We
I
know.
be chill, but other times I definitely be talking, and probably things that I said might have gotten out of hand in some situations, but it wasn't. The intent was not to get out of hand.
Okay.
And then I'll tell y'all this: sometimes I be on bullshit just when I be outside, and like I hear really well, so sometimes I pick up on other people's conversations and I just might slide a response in there. Like two people are walking down the street like, oh, I can't believe he blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, the nerve of him, like just on some jokey joke. You know what I'm saying? But that also could be crossing.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know you, but I just be doing it.
I'm going to turn around. The fuck you say, cuz?
Excuse me. But literally though, 9 times out of 10 people be laughing. Whenever they do overhear me, they do laugh. But then other times, like
get punched in the throat.
Other times they don't. Other times they don't really hear me. I've never been in a space where that has received negative energy because like I try and be so lighthearted about it. But it definitely could be a boundary oversteppage.
Facts.
I've had
That's
some
my
time to
little
think,
2
guys.
Drop that.
I think there have been times I have crossed them after they've been set, but it wasn't like an intention. I probably forgot. So like I do got certain people that's like they don't like certain jokes that may be cracked about them. And me just being me, I feel like I'm a very comfortable person in my own skin. So like, you can pretty much say anything to me. If it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. If it bothers me, I'll probably just still laugh. I'm like, damn, that low-key kind of hurt me, but damn, it's true. So I'll probably have like cracked like a joke about a friend or somebody that I know. Like low-key, they probably told me, and I think like, ooh, that is like low-key a sensitive point they told me not to say. So I like, if they don't bring it up, cool, but I don't think I should say nothing. So I may like cross the line, something like that, but it's never like intentionally though.
Yeah.
Like Sam, no, I'm just playing.
I'm
no, I'm just playing.
It's not.
Facts.
Yeah.
So,
like something like made mine like that.
So same. So I've accidentally crossed the boundary. So I have a friend who was also on like a weight loss journey, and so we were at like a brunch or whatever too, and I was a little drunk, but whatever. And I was just like celebrating her, just like, yo, like you've lost a lot of weight, like you are it, you was always it, but now you're more it, like you are finer, you are like you lost this weight, like, and that's what I said, and I kept prefacing with like you were already fine, but like I just
You was
see
basically
your
shooting your
happiness.
shot
like,
at the same
no,
time.
no, this is really a friend. This is really a friend, and it's just like because we
You a
were
ticket
both
on the
on
dash.
this weight loss journey, and it's like she celebrated me, and so of course I'm gonna gas you too, and then like we had to have a conversation that next day because she hit me with the, hey, you know, I don't typically like to talk about when I was bigger, and you brought it up. There was people around that made me feel some type of way. And so when she told me like that makes her feel some type of way, it didn't even register to me that I was overstepping a boundary. Like here I thought I was celebrating a friend, but like that wasn't my journey to tell. Granted, I thought I was gassing my friend being supportive, but it's like even with those milestones and those moments in life, because in my mind, I was like, yo, she worked hard. Like she was in the gym, she ate better, she did lose this weight, but that made me start to think like, shit, maybe she was bulimic. Like what if there was another reason? What if there was a health thing that also contributed to this weight loss? Like I just completely was oblivious because I wanted to gas my friend. Right. And so, that was the moment I got checked for overstepping my boundaries. Like, shit, you even got to ask people how and when can you celebrate them.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
I mean, I was shitty as hell because I'm sitting here thinking like, yes, I'm supporting my friend. And I realized the support didn't actually feel as good.
And that's just in a specific way too, and that's why you felt shitty. But I guess people, you know, I think sometimes it doesn't have to be a feel shitty, right? Because that comes in the maturity of understanding that people do have boundaries and they want these things to be respected. And that's just all in understanding a person. But I definitely coin your part. I mean, I probably would feel shitty too, like, cause I'm over here gassing you and you like, please lay off put some brake on that gas. You know what I'm saying?
Put some brake
But
on
also,
that.
it's okay to feel shitty after you got checked.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's such an ego thing where it's like, oh, no, I'm good. You know, I just got checked. I'm good. Like, no, actually take a moment to embrace getting your ass checked because you tweaked. Let's figure out how to never do this again. Like, really reflect.
Yeah, and I ain't mean that on no, oh, I'm good. Like, just on some, okay, my bad. I understand that was a boundary I crossed. but I don't want there to be any love lost between us because I crossed that boundary. That was my fault, and I'm gonna correct that, and we can move forward.
Okay.
Right?
No
And I don't
facts.
know, stay in my shitty place because I got, you know.
Oh no, I wasn't shitty forever.
Right.
But
Yeah. But that's just what I
Yes.
meant by it, because like sometimes people will get checked and then they be like, oh shit, I'm in my fifis now, or we can't be friends now. And it's
Right.
like, that don't mean we can't be friends. Our friendship just has this boundary
Yeah.
that we
Embrace
don't.
it.
Right. Exactly.
Take it on the chin.
And know that you understand me more when I said that. And if I do ever decide to open that to you, you'll respect it that much more.
Facts.
Exactly.
Facts. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I'm the only
So-
one that's kind of overstepped that I can recall.
Amazing.
Right. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
I
that
can't
you
remember any
can
specific
remember.
stories,
Okay,
but,
so
yeah.
we gon' switch gears a little bit,
dope.
because these are physical boundaries that we're talking about. People that we know, people that
Right.
we enjoy, we interact with. Except
Well-
my one story.
Just show off your definition earlier, right? They have physical and then emotional. Physical being the body, emotional being the
Facts.
senses,
Okay,
right? So
recollect it.
Yep,
See what you
so
did
these
there.
are emotional boundaries. Some physical, because folks was
done with
on
y'all,
that. But
G.
moving on.
And so this is something I want, right? But anywho,
Right.
But not so. This is something that I don't know if this conversation piece can be held to the original definition of boundaries, right? And like, does social media affect boundary setting? Because that definition said nothing about social media. It's like uncharted territory almost, because we're still figuring it out. So like, do y'all feel like social media affects the way that we like set boundaries?
Affects it how? Like what? Like just define that real quick. Like being with the inclusion of social media in the world now, do we share some stuff on social media, or do we not share some stuff on social media? Does that inclusion of social media in the world now allow people to overstep some of our boundaries? That's what you mean?
Yeah. Does it allow people to overstep boundaries? And do we catch ourselves, now
Yeah.
that we've been talking about boundaries,
Right.
right? Do we feel like, damn, maybe I do overstep a bit on social media too? When you slide in that DM.
Right,
Or
right,
whatever,
right.
right? Like, how just in general is social media affecting boundary setting based on the conversation we had earlier?
Ooh, that's actually interesting. 'Cause I feel like the only boundary you can really set on social media for nobody to really overstep is like either private or block. Like that's it. Cause like if you slide in somebody's DMs and it's open, like depending on what you post, like honestly you don't have to post nothing crazy off. I just think like you attractive and I slide in your DMs, like you could be definitely overstepping the boundary, but you don't know it though. Like, so how do you set boundaries on social media technically? And I feel like that's why me personally, like my shit's just open. Like if you message me something crazy, if I want to respond, I'll respond. If not, then I won't.
Right.
Well, I'll probably just delete the message, or I'll probably laugh. It just depends on what you send me.
Facts.
I can definitely curve you in a nice way if you shoot your shot and I'm not on there. I may not respond. So I feel like it's a little bit tougher to set boundaries on social media unless you like typing shit in your bio. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
right. What else can
No
you say?
DMs, no singles. No. Don't like
Leave
more
me
than 10
alone.
pictures.
Exactly.
Right.
Cash out.
You see my follow to following ratio?
So I think it plays a huge part, but it's like, how do you set those boundaries? That would be my question, in a sense. Like, it's kind of tough.
I mean, I personally think it leads to more checking, but like in a lighter sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? For people who just want to comment on every last one of your stories, like you kind of got to take that on the chin a little bit, unless you DM back, hey, G, you responded to a lot. What's to you?
What's to you? Relax.
Chill out.
Or somebody just like 30 pictures in a row,
Yeah.
like you got to take it on the chin. Or, hey, G, what's
to
to
you?
you?
You
What's
replied
to
to every
you?
story I've posted, and I have yet to say anything.
But you don't post nothing. So why you finding? Like,
So it's like, I think
get
it either makes you check a little lighter, or maybe it makes you check people more aggressively, or
Yeah.
you just condition yourself to just let it flow.
ooh, I think that goes to another point we had last time. Like, how serious do you take social media though?
Right.
Because if
I
there's
was-
somebody like in states over that's saying something wild to you, like, will you respond even though like they kind of hit like a sensitive point in you? They did cross a boundary. So it's like, how serious do you really take the person that's in your DMs? Like, depending on what they say. I feel like that's why I be like, everybody got a voice on social media, so it is what
Everybody
it is.
got an opinion.
Yeah, if it's personal, if it's like somebody I know personally and they say something wild, like you said, I'll probably hit them like, yo, like, why you
wilding on the
like,
book?
Yeah, why you talking crazy like that? You at me, like, bro. So, but it gives everybody a voice, so it just goes to how serious you take social media at that point.
I feel like it inclines people, or it feels like people think that they know you.
Yeah, especially
Right.
when it comes to like social media, people who really do feel like they like know the whole you.
Exactly.
And that's really not the case. I mean, of course, you have some people who like post everything, like what they doing, what
Blog
they eat,
daily,
and, like,
right. Yeah,
walking down the
yeah,
street.
Right.
But I mean, like, I feel like all that is pretty much surface level for the most part. Like, do you really know the ins and out of a person just
Right.
based on what they post on like a regular?
Facts.
And then that turns around. I feel like you helped me realize that, but it was like, oh, that's a boundary, right? Depending on what you do, put yourself into, or what of yourself do you post, right? What of yourself do you allot on social media? And that's you setting some type of boundary or whatever, right? Like, okay, cool. I'm only gonna post this much shit. And then all this other stuff is going to be for my piece, because I don't need no criticism on this. I don't need no praise on this, because I have both and I accept both, and I'm already content with that. I don't need extra,
Okay.
Yeah.
right? But I mean, you know, if you're feeling a little low and you got some heat in the camera roll and you like, I want some likes real quick, boost the self-esteem.
Done.
No, I do feel like the way that we post help determine those boundaries. Right?
Yeah.
Like Marv is a person who very rarely posts, so he's a person that lets you
I've
know
never
I do
posted.
not take this shit seriously
At
at
all.
all.
Post at all.
At all.
You know what I mean? And then there are
I was just
some
thinking the other
people-
day, I damn near need to, I ain't posted shit in a minute. But
I mean, you
I
don't need
unloaded.
to
I don't know.
unless you do.
I
unload.
No.
Weekly.
Right.
But there
Some
are
little-
some people who are literally like, DM me, send me
DM me.
news.
Literally.
It's
Oh,
3
yeah, that's so
a.m.
extra.
Hey, y'all still
Send
up? Hit my
nudes.
line.
Right.
Those are people who are letting you know, like, you can come into my DMs, my messages with
open.
this stuff.
Facts.
Like,
But if I've never posted like, hey, somebody hit me up. Don't.
Oh yeah. Nah. You don't see very many of them posts. Do you?
I gotta cleanse my timeline again.
Yeah, clearly.
Still some people on there from like kindergarten.
not kindergarten.
Saying hit
please.
me up.
Been for the streets.
Yeah,
Okay.
chill. I told y'all that was this moment I had where I felt like I had to be connected to people in the
okay.
world, and so now as I'm unlearning that, I'm just hitting the unfollow
Okay.
more and more, just nearly
Yeah.
not as much as I should.
Facts.
So this is gonna go completely left. What's the craziest thing
left.
that's happened in your DMs?
Some funny shit.
Since we're talking boundaries, what's the craziest
don't
thing
know.
that has happened
Besides
in your
like
DMs?
unsolicited pics.
Okay,
That's crazy, but
it is.
yeah.
Not
It's
the-
happened to me,
Not
but
the ocular rate.
it's like, no thanks. I don't know why you sent me this, but
It looked dirty. No, I'm
On the bed. Y'all hilarious.
it's dusty,
dirty. All the hair on there.
sir.
All right.
No, there's
I'm about
some
to
people
mute
that
y'all.
are-
Okay? I'm about to mute y'all.
Please.
No, okay. I just wanted to give y'all
Nah, I just
time to
wanna-
think
nah, you
craziest
good, y'all
moments that's
good,
happened in
y'all
y'all
good.
DMs.
I mean, most is just shot, like literally a
Pulling
shot
up from
on
three?
some, pulling up from
Half
half
court?
court, pulling up from the other goal.
Pump fake, pump
One
fake,
of
pump
them,
fake.
like,
You
I don't
thought-
even know who you are. We ain't never ever met. You slide in my shit, like, you fine as hell. I'm like, damn, shorty. I didn't even, really, I didn't even respond to that
I'm
shit. I was just
twerking.
like, okay. That's it. But, like, also, you know how Instagram got that shit now where it, like, filtered this shit out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should just automatically be going to the filter. You dig?
To the
Be like,
request.
okay,
Right.
right,
The
exactly.
request.
Even though my shit like
The
regular,
generals.
public, yeah, exactly, right,
The general
The
messages.
right. What is it? Important in general? Or
Yeah. Or it's
Yeah.
like private. Yeah, one of them.
whatever it is, however it works. But yeah, like that's
Sam
the,
got 85 requests.
Okay.
Not looking at any of them.
oh shit. Suave?
Damn.
Come on, bro.
Marfy. Back
I
to
don't
you.
know. I'm kind of like Sam, nothing like too OC like y'all, but
Y'all.
I think the craziest thing, it was kind of creepy actually. I would say it wasn't crazy, it was creepy. Like somebody, 'cause I was on a dating app and I wasn't on there long, and I didn't put my social media information on one of them, but somebody hit me up like, "Hey, yo, what's up?" Like, and she was like, "You never on the app." And I'm like, first of all, I don't even know who this is. Like, wait, how did you find me? See? So I'm like, I don't even know if I should respond to this, because usually I just respond like, "Oh, shit, what's good?" Or I'll be like, "Yo, who are you?" I'm like, "Yo, I know for a fact I didn't put my information on this app." So I'm like, "How did you find me?" I don't remember like matching with you. And I'm like going through pictures, like, you don't look familiar at all. Like, who are you? Who are you? But they said like a specific app I was on. So I'm like,
Yeah.
gee, like, did you get my social? Like, gee, how did you find me? So I was just so thrown off. Like, so it wasn't like crazy. It was more like creepy to me. So
You got your real name on the app?
no,
Like even
no.
creepy.
That's what made me like. That's why I was kind of concerned. Like,
Not a
I, go
photo
by,
search.
I had a nickname on the app. I'm like, how did you find me?
She called Neve.
Yeah, she must.
I'm being catfish. Hold on. Something not adding up.
Some
Shawty
people
going crazy.
downloaded the skills to be able to like drag your picture of your face
Maybe.
to the internet and
Oh,
then
yeah.
it matches. But like,
That might
you
make
really
more
got to
sense.
be a serious creep to go through all that.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
I was like, gee, what?
Yeah, no, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. I've had some moments in my DMs.
Yeah.
You didn't
And
already
it's crazy.
describe them.
I don't
moments.
get
You done
why.
already-
You know what I mean? But that's not okay. That's kind of crazy. I get that. But I've had things from literally people I haven't seen in like 11 years ask me for money,
Oh damn.
and it's like, why do you assume I got money?
Right.
Don't let
That's
this
happened to me
profile
before.
pictures like trick you.
That's crazy.
This untied bow tie.
No,
No,
you
I'm
was,
not
you was
sending
over
you
here
$50.
talking about you was getting money. One of them episodes, you was like, I'm
I
getting
can't recall.
money.
Don't
I'm
relax.
touring. I'm getting bread.
Wrong, Reggie.
Just because I was
Let me
touring
hold
don't mean I was
some.
getting bread.
Let
though.
me hold some.
Ah,
Let me borrow a little
okay.
change.
But nah, so I've
dead.
had stuff from that to, and this is one story I'm shocked Devin didn't tell, like all the way from this sugar mama that was just hitting up
Yeah,
people
sugar
that we
mama.
knew. And I still, of course, I feel like it was a scammer because it resulted in,
No
I'll-
funds.
No fun.
I'll give you an allowance. I need your bank account number, like your
I was
route
like, no,
number.
you
so
can
I
cash
can
out
wire
if
it
you
to
want.
Cash app. Yeah.
PayPal.
Right.
And maybe that is the sugar mama, sugar daddy way to wire it straight into your account so it looks like a business transaction. I don't know. But that's also what
No, they go
PayPal
to
is for me.
Right.
Reverse wire.
Oh, you got some? You got sugar mamas?
Western
I don't. I thought I did until I realized she had hit up like 5 of my homies.
Oh,
like,
damn,
bitch,
right,
who
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
The feds.
Who you?
All right, so how do y'all limit people's access to you? And that can be on social media or in general. Like, how do you personally limit people's access to you?
Y'all had-
I know.
I mean,
I'm-
my profiles are pretty open, which kind of did lead to a crazy thing. I was like at Target shopping, buying some photo frames. I'll make this real quick. I bought the photo frames, went back home. You know, I snapped driving home or whatever. I made the frame for my signed J. Cole posters, and someone DM'd me saying they saw me in Target buying the frame, and I was just like, you didn't speak, say
Right.
hi, and then they started
Yeah.
to have like a conversation and try to like flirt with me. I'm like, you could have just talked to me in Target. Why are you here now?
right.
Right, because now you dusty.
Nah,
What's crazy is that just take me to a whole nother. It's besides the point, but I just feel like people in this generation find it so much more comfortable to be on the phone messaging you or talking to you than in person, which blows me every time. But
They literally told me what I was wearing. So I
that's
was
crazy.
confused.
Yeah, that was
Nah,
me.
literally,
I was like,
I've seen multiple people multiple times. Like I literally seen one of my homies from Houston who live up here. She was walking down the street as I was leaving like one of the like production companies I work with. She had like a yoga mat, and I was driving. This was like a year and a half ago. Oh, what's up, KD? What up? You know what I'm
It's the
saying?
voice
Like
for
just,
me.
but I
Voice for me.
I kept it moving. I kept it pushing. But I was like, yo, what up, what up? I ain't never. I mean, but that's just me. I ain't never been a person to not speak in public because.
Gotcha.
All right.
Can't relate.
I'm
Please
92.
continue.
I'm 92.
I'll be
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
see you.
No, I'm 92.
God
I'm
damn.
28. Oh, I was back when they had the Nokias with the snake and shit. So yeah, I know about
Oh,
some
so that's
speaking
your-
in
that's your
person and
peoples.
Same. That's crazy. Same. So I was born in '92 as well, and I will turn the other cheek.
What? Oh no.
Oh, I didn't see you.
But see, so sounds like you gotta be you like to limit people access. I don't really have to do that. I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with hitting people. With, you know what I'm saying? X, Y, Z. But yeah,
X, Y, and Z.
Sam
Yeah,
said he
hit me
gonna
up.
sign a few autographs.
Say nothing.
No problem.
X, Y, Z.
Kissing baby, shaking hands.
I just don't have no problem. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, like, okay, yeah, I will say this. Typically, I do set like a timer on my phone to limit myself, right? Like I'll have a do not disturb mode on from this period to this period or whatever, right? And if you can't hit me up, then you can't hit me up. And maybe I'll hit you up after, but that's probably my only way to limit access to me.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Anybody
No
else? How do
jokey
y'all
joke, no
limit,
funny.
Others like access to you.
I'm open. Social
Oh
media.
yeah, open book. Hit you up
honestly.
anytime, any day, huh?
I mean, if you close to me, you'll know when I'm not in the mood to really talk. But other than that,
We
like,
talking about others, brother.
I'm talking in general.
Yeah.
I feel like social
Okay.
media, people I run into, like it can be a random walk up on the street. If I'm just having a decent day, I'll definitely have a conversation with you. But
Right, facts.
if I'm just not in the mood, it honestly just depends on my mood. If
Yeah.
I'm not in a good mood, not even in a good mood. If I'm just not in the mood to talk, I'm having one of my days I want to be myself. I think the people that's close to me, they notice that. But like you said,
Yeah.
outside, I'll just be real short with them.
Right.
But social media, you can hit me up. I just respond whenever I respond. So
Type shit.
honestly,
Right. Ain't no time with that.
yeah, I ain't famous, so you can hit me up.
Yeah. And that's how
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
For me, if I
You feel
like,
me?
if you one of my people, I'll just hit you up like, yo, I'm gonna just hit you back, or not really feeling it, or I'm gonna just hit you back. It's just that simple. I'll let you know. I will contact you when I'm in a place to contact you. And if
Yeah.
you're on social media, I'll get to you when I feel like it.
Yeah.
And I
Facts.
don't, and I
Reply
don't
when I
have to tell you
reply.
that.
Lit. I'll have to tell you that.
Exactly.
Like I could still be making tweets and not replying to your DM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah.
That's a different argument right there.
Right.
Because most of them, they're going to be sour.
That pisses me off sometimes putting on a person. Not gonna lie, and I'm working on that because it shouldn't piss me off. Like, that's your phone. You do what you do. You are not obligated to talk to me.
Exactly.
But just know I'm gonna keep that same energy. So before we get off topic,
God.
we got one more thing for the people to wrap this up, man. So
Wrap
like,
it up, D.
what advice would you give someone who is brand new to setting boundaries?
I feel like this is where we put our heads together, right? And we come with a good way to set a boundary. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's a positive way, a good way to like set a boundary to a person? You feel me? And I feel like that's just being forward, right?
Okay.
Literally from I mean, just from my maturity and growth into adulthood, like I've learned being forward isn't a bad thing.
Okay.
Right? Like you can be like, yo, look, that was funny and you could talk your shit, but future reference, we're not gonna do that no more. We're not gonna be funny like that. We can be funny other ways, right? And it's like ain't no love lost. But
Right.
it's just about addressing it head on and not, throwing it back. Like or
Okay.
not dancing around the topic. Like, oh, okay, cool. You FaceTime me, hey, cool. Look, we could talk for a good 25 minutes. But yo, for real though, like I don't really like FaceTiming like that. Like, but we could text and maybe if you want to hit me up and ask me if I feel like FaceTiming right now, we could do that.
Okay.
Just set it straight.
So yours is being straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the best way to do it personally. I don't know about y'all. Y'all got any other ways?
I say for me, just know your needs and wants in relationships, whether it's work, personal, social media, whatever.
Yeah.
Just know like your needs and your wants. Know what I'm not gonna tolerate this, and then outside of that, I'm cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
True.
that gives you like a start at least.
Right. Know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus until when they cross them, then you start feeling uncomfortable. Just know
Type
like,
shit.
okay, I know me personally. This is what
I
I'm
do
cool with.
stand
This is what
for.
I'm not cool with.
Right.
Exactly.
Kind of back to like what we were saying in the beginning. With boundaries, it helps make like your life balanced. Like it keeps everything in check, keeps your emotions in check.
Yeah.
Which is mostly the most important when it comes to boundaries. And yeah, Toss it to Reggie.
Slam that bit.
So what I say, if you're new to setting boundaries, like one, learn how you process things.
Okay.
And then two, if after you've processed and something still rubs you the wrong way, then address it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can't keep relationships with folks who has literally done something that rubs you the wrong way, and then you act like it never happened.
Right.
Because that resentment, it continues to build. And then you'll realize, like, now y'all at each other's head and y'all lashing out over something that's so minuscule.
Right.
But now it's a big thing because that's residual boundaries that has just been stepped. And now they're finally exploding. Or you're finally exploding. So process it, and if it still makes you feel any type of way, address it.
Okay.
True.
Smooth. Yeah.
True.
Sounds good.
That is
Address it,
conversation.
process it. Right.
Leave it
Address
there.
it, process it.
Okay, second take at this boundaries thing. I think we
Third
did
take.
all right. Really, the third take.
Right, whole time.
Wow.
Third.
Yeah, I think we
we
did
had a
this.
little Zoom call.
Right, yeah, we did this.
It was our practice.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's why I do it.
Third time's the charm for you
Okay.
people.
Time
Y'all
is the
are
charm.
getting this episode for real,
sure.
real
raw.
If you're hearing this, you got it.
Well, hey, for real.
And if you
don't-
made it this far, congratulations.
Real talk. So we truly
You've won,
appreciate y'all. Don't lie to the people now. But we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. As always, our world is sick, yo. But good conversation is the cure. So until next time, man, we are out.
sir.
Sick.
Yeah.